Yes, I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
everyone hear me?
can. All right. Welcome to committee virtually, and you may begin your testimony.
Thank you. Greetings, Chair McMorrow, Vice Chair Kavanaugh, and members of the committee. My name is Jabari Cooper, Director of State and Local Government Affairs for the Chamber of Progress, a tech industry association supporting public policies to build a more inclusive society in which all people benefit from technological advances. I'm here today to respectfully oppose Senate Bill 991. We appreciate that this bill takes a more tailored approach than the broad surveillance pricing bans moving in other states, but even so, it remains drafted too broadly and too ambiguously to protect the everyday discounts that Michigan families rely on. Michigan families are understandably frustrated by the rising cost of living. It is the top issue facing households across the state, and we share the goal of making sure consumers get a fair deal. But Senate Bill 991 risks backfiring on the very families it aims to help. By restricting the app-based deals and digital discounts that families use to stretch their budgets and that businesses use to compete. We agree with the principle behind this bill. No one, and absolutely no one, should be charged for a higher price simply because of the phone they carry or the neighborhood they live in. The problem is that Senate Bill 991 does not stop at price increases. It restricts a business from using device hardware, the software on a device, or a location data, wherever those signals factor into a price, even when they are used to give a consumer a better deal. And in practice, a better deal is overwhelming what this data is used for. A restaurant offers a dollar menu pricing or a discounted first order only through its app. A local shop sends a discount to nearby customers to bring in foot traffic. A streaming service tailors its price to local market conditions. These are not hidden practices. Consumers seek them out, and businesses rely on them to compete and earn customer loyalty. Take app-based pricing. An app is software. When a retailer shows app users a lower price, that price depends on whether the app is on the device, so it falls squarely within Senate Bill 991 software prohibition. The bill does gesture at protecting these deals, but not reliably. Its definition of dynamic pricing includes carve-out for pricing offers and temporary discounts, and this is very critical, but it never defines those terms or clarifies whether they also apply to the bill's separate definition of personalized algorithmic pricing. To be clear, we agree that businesses should not use personal data to charge people more, but that is fundamentally different from the routine use of technology to deliver discounts, rewards, and savings that consumers actively participate in. Senate Bill 991's central flaw is that it treats those two different things the same. We believe a more targeted approach, one that clearly distinguishes between price increases and price decreases, would better preserve the everyday coupons and discounts consumers rely on. Until that line is drawn, Senate Bill 991 risks undermining the discounts, deals, and promotions that businesses rely on to compete and consumers rely on to save. We would welcome the opportunity to serve as a resource on this committee as they consider a more narrow and targeted approach. And thank you for your time and consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Jabari, for your testimony. I hear the argument that this legislation, in your words, would prohibit deals being offered to people. But can you provide an example where, let's say, a restaurant within a certain zip code can't offer that deal in and of their own already? And do you have comprehensive data that shows what percentage of this usage is to provide deals versus to raise prices?
As it relates to just the opportunity of, sorry, it's like looking at myself. As it relates to the kind of the carve-out list and all of like what deals are provided, I guess, can you just rephrase your question? Can you ask your question again? Sorry, just one more time. I think I was going out. My Wi-Fi is a little bit messed up a little bit here.
Certainly. So what would prevent a company from simply providing a deal within a zip code at a certain time?
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for your question, Madam Chair. So basically, essentially how this would work is like, hey, if we're at a local coffee shop and I haven't been in, say, 6 months, that this is all more about an economic competition. So that local coffee shop would send me a 50% off code saying, hey, please come in and enjoy my business because we haven't seen you regularly. That is something that is common that would have in every community, and it knows that you're in that community. And so that's an example of a discount that would be provided for an everyday consumer.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And then as we consider potential trade-offs, as we think about this legislation, I hear that example, and I'm wondering if from your industry association's point of view, you can provide us with comprehensive data on, in the total use case of this type of data, how often is it used to provide a discount versus used to raise prices, and the total value of dollars saved versus dollars that the consumers may have lost?
And thank you for that question, Madam Chair. I can definitely look back and follow up with your office to see on any available data that we have, and definitely provide a thorough report to you and your colleagues.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Do we have any other questions from colleagues? Senator Kavanaugh.
I think I'm just going to piggyback off, thank you, Chair. Just based on the legislation, can you give me an example of a situation that you kind of described that might fall outside because I do believe the bill describes dynamic pricing that does not include pricing offers, loyalty programs, or other temporary discounts related to retention of existing customers. Just wondering if that in the bill wouldn't capture your concerns about other customers in the area staying like with the app or anything like that.
Thank you for your question, Senator. And what I just wanted to iterate by that is that it's more or less not that, yes, the terms are in the bill, but without a proper kind of definition, and without it being clearly not a proper, but a clearly defined definition of specifically what are pricing offers, what is a temporary discount, and when they don't define these terms, never says when a discount stops becoming temporary, and it never makes clear whether that carve out even reaches the bill's separate definition of like a personalized, like algorithmic pricing. So businesses look at this language, they can't tell with any confidence whether it's just a common app deal, a neighborhood promotion, or an exemption that is vague is not something that a company or even a small one can rely on when it just poses like all litigation risk and without a proper kind of definition that is clearly defines these terms.
Do we have any other member questions? All right, seeing none, Jabari, thank you very much for your testimony.